KONDOSAN.
Snow White and Sneezy set out to find the reality stone to save the prince, who's trapped in a snow globe.
We have a long way before we reach Sleeping Crater.
Indeed, so we'd better bring some food with us.
Snow White and Sneezy stopped in a village they were passing through to get some water and food.
Do you think we can get the reality stone?
Don't worry, we'll definitely get it and free the prince.
Snow White and Sneezy were tired and hungry from all the walking, so they took a break. At that moment, a horse-drawn carriage approached them.
Hello guys, I've run out of water. Do you have some?
We have plenty of water. Have some.
I've travelled from afar. I'd better get some rest here.
The man said he was a peddler selling unique items.
What kind of items are these?
For example, have you ever seen a candle that never goes out, or a singing clock?
That's very interesting.
He told them that he knew these places very well and could take them to their destination.
We appreciate it so much. Unfortunately, we still have a long way to go.
Let me rest a bit first, then we'll set off together.
Yes, of course. I'll take a nap too.
Don't worry, my prince. I'll save you and get you out of that globe.
The peddler opened his eyes and talked to himself.
What? There's a tiny man inside a snow globe. A prince. How is that possible?
Snow White was also tired, so she went to sleep.
My lucky day. I can make a fortune with this snow globe. That was easy.
When they woke up, they noticed that neither the peddler nor his carriage was there.
The peddler is gone.
He said he would help us.
Oh no, it can't be. The snow globe is gone.
What? Did the peddler steal the snow globe?
We must catch up to him.
We can't catch him going on foot.
Just at that moment, they saw a deer coming out of the woods.
Hello, we're in trouble. Can you help us out, please?
When Snow White explained the situation, the deer took them on his back and ran after the peddler.
Yes, we're getting close.
But how do we stop him?
The deer knew what to do.
What is the deer trying to do?
What's going on, you useless horse? Help me!
Oh no, the globe. We can't let it break.
I got it.
Thank goodness the prince is okay. You saved his life, Sneezy. I'm deeply indebted to you for your help.
Help! Save me! Please save me!
Snow White and Sneezy thanked the deer for helping them, and the deer went on its way again.
Here we are at Sleeping Crater.
What's that smoke? It doesn't seem like a good sign to me.
There's a cave. Shall we go in?
It looks like it goes down into the crater.
Okay, let's be careful.
There's no sign of the giant the wizard warned us about. We'd better stay quiet.
We went too deep. Where is this reality stone?
Look, there's something shining over there.
Yes, there it is. The reality stone.
However, they didn't count on the bubbling mud that was making it impossible to get through.
You wait here. I'll get it.
Okay, but be careful.
What a beautiful stone.
Just when Sneezy was about to take the stone,
What's going on? Help! Help!
Yikes! It's the crater giant.
the giant took Sneezy and walked away.
Hey, you! Crater giant! Let my friend go!
Snow White got lost trying to find Sneezy in a maze of caves inside the crater.
Oh no! I'm lost! What am I going to do now?
Just then, Snow White heard a voice.
I don't know what you're doing here, but I will help you.
Snow White looked around to find out where the sound was coming from.
Who's that? Where are you?
I'm here. Look down.
The mole stuck its head out of a hole. Snow White was surprised to see the mole.
You're a mole.
Yes, I am. So who are you? What are you doing inside this crater?
Snow White explained that she and her friend had come to get the reality stone, but the giant kidnapped her friend.
Please, help me. I must save my friend from that giant.
So the giant kidnapped your friend? That's not good.
What do you mean? What will the giant do to my friend?
We must save him before the giant turns your friend into gold.
What? The giant will turn my friend into gold?
I know where the giant is. Follow me.
So Snow White followed the mole and together they went farther into the cave. Will Snow White be able to save Sneezy from the giant? Will they be able to get out of the crater with the reality stone? You can find out when you watch the next story called Reality Stone. When Sneezy was taken by the giant living in Sleepy Crater, Snow White befriended a mole who offered to help her find Sneezy. Snow White followed the mole closely as they made their way through the cave.
There's the giant. What's he doing?
He is trying to catch the bats. He needs them to turn your friend into gold.
But where's Sneezy? I don't see him.
Just then, they heard a call for help.
Help! Get me out of here!
That's Sneezy's voice.
The sound is coming from over there.
Sneezy, don't be afraid. I'll get you out of there.
Please hurry! The giant will turn me into gold!
While the giant was busy catching bats, Snow White tried to open the lid where Sneezy was held captive.
It's too heavy. I can't lift it.
We should try something else.
You can really dig fast. Mole, you're awesome.
The mole finally reached Sneezy through the tunnel she dug.
Come on, follow me. The giant might return at any moment.
Sneezy quickly followed the mole through the tunnel she had dug, and he was saved.
Let's get out of here before the giant sees us. Quick!
However, the giant heard their voices and saw them trying to escape.
Oh no! The giant saw us! Run!
So the giant chased them inside the cave.
He's getting closer. Run faster, Sneezy.
I'm out of breath. Snow White, we dwarfs can only run short distances.
Watch out for the boiling mud. Hey, maybe we can get rid of him that way. Hey, bats! Can you help us? They are good people.
The bats flew in a swarm surrounding the giant.
Come on, quickly.
The giant fell into the boiling mud. Hey you!
Thank you, bats. I hope the giant learned his lesson.
The giant was struggling to get out of the bubbling mud.
Let's get out of this place before the giant comes out of the mud.
Yes, let's go and get that reality stone now.
They went to the spot where the reality stone was and took it.
We got the stone, my dear prince. Soon you'll be free.
Yes, now we need to find the witch.
Thank you so much for your help, Mole.
I won't forget you, my friend. You saved my life.
I hope you can free your prince out of that snow globe.
After a long journey, Snow White and Sneezy finally arrived at the witch's castle.
We have to be very careful, Sneezy.
This place is pretty big. Where is the witch?
Follow me.
They went upstairs stealthily.
Wake up, Mirror, wake up. Let's have a little chat.
Why will you talk to the witch's mirror?
Mirror, where's your owner, the witch? Tell me now.
Snow White got angry when the mirror said he was a loyal servant to the witch and would never help them.
Is that so? I think it'll be fun to smash an evil mirror.
When the mirror heard Snow White's threat, he was frightened, so he confessed that the witch had gone to the forest to gather some herbs.
So, she's in the forest. Let's go.
For a second, I thought you were really going to smash the mirror.
I knew the mirror wouldn't answer my question, so I gave him some incentive. In truth, bad guys are cowards.
When we find the witch, we have to make her look at the reality stone.
Yes, the stone will only work this way.
So, how are we going to do this?
I have an idea, but first, let's find out which.
The witch was busy gathering herbs in the forest, just as the mirror had said.
I think I've gathered all the herbs I need for my new potion.
Look over there. She's gathering herbs.
Yes, I see her.
All right, what's now?
I entrust the prince to you, so please be careful, Sneezy.
What will you do?
Follow me. Don't leave my side.
The witch might see us.
Snow White approached the witch and called out.
Hey, witch, look here.
Well, nice to see you again, Snow White.
Our intentions are honest. We just want to make a deal with you.
Make a deal? With me? How dare you?
Yikes! She almost got us! This witch will fry us!
I have a great deal for you. I'll give you the core diamond if you break the spell on the prince.
Core diamond? The core diamond is the most valuable in the world?
The witch accepted Snow White's offer but wanted to see the diamond first.
If you're telling the truth, I'll take the diamond and remove the spell on the prince. But if you are lying...
Okay, so we agreed. Here it is. Look at it carefully.
Wait, but... this isn't even a diamond! Ah! What is this? My eyes! Help!
What? The globe? What's going on?
The spell is broken. The prince is free. Hooray!
We did it! Yay!
Save me from these thorns! Help me!
Snow White and the prince hugged each other happily.
Kondo-san?
Once upon a time, in a small house there lived a young married couple. They were a very happy couple and were expecting a baby.
I know it's important for our baby to be healthy, but I do hope we have a daughter, my love.
Yes, I would love to have a daughter too. God willing, we'll have a daughter that will look like you.
The day of the birth was getting closer, and the young mother excitedly awaited the birth of her baby. Every day the mother would look out the window and over the high wall and admire her neighbour's garden filled with flowers and fruits. One day she noticed a yellow leaf plant that she had never seen before.
I wonder what the name of that plant is. It smells wonderful. I'm sure it tastes amazing too. I have to eat that plant. I will go straight to my neighbour and ask her.
Without wasting any time, the young mother left the house. But she had no idea that her next-door neighbour was a cruel witch. She knocked on the door, unaware of the danger that awaited her.
Ooh. Hello, neighbour. The yellow plant in your garden smells amazing. I'm pregnant and really craving for it. Is it an edible plant?
Of course. I can give you a little. It tastes incredible and it's really good for humans.
Then it'll be good for my baby too.
Of course, dear neighbour. Especially for expecting mothers. But remember, because it's so valuable, you may only take one.
Everything is going just as I planned.
The young woman finished eating the piece she had taken as soon as she got home, but she wanted to eat more.
Bring me more. If I don't eat it, I can't have this baby.
Don't worry. I'll do everything I can to bring you more of that yellow plant.
As night fell and it got dark, the helpless husband climbed over the tall wall and took the plant that his wife wanted. This went on for some time. Every night, the young man secretly entered the garden, but he was uneasy about entering his neighbour's garden without permission. The bad witch had actually grown this plant to set up a trap to them. She knew that her neighbour was expecting a baby and that she would definitely crave for this with its smell. She had her eye on the baby for a long time. She was going to take the baby one way or another. One evening, as the man entered the garden again, the witch caught him red-handed. She now had the appearance of a witch. She was very ugly and was extremely scary-looking. The poor man was frightened.
Please forgive me. My wife is pregnant and she can't stop eating this plant. I was forced to do this because you said she could only take one. I know this is wrong, but if she doesn't eat it, I'm afraid that my wife will die. I'm in a very tough situation.
I'll accept your apology only with one condition. You must give me the baby that is to be born. If not, I'll destroy all of you. The man had to accept this condition. When the time of the birth arrived, a beautiful baby girl was born. The witch went to the house immediately. Her name shall be Rapunzel. You shall raise her until she turns 1. In exactly 1 year, I will come and take her from you. The helpless couple accepted. When Rapunzel turned 1, the witch came and took the crying baby away from her mother and father and locked up the baby in a tower in the middle of the forest. She was going to raise the baby there. Many years passed. Rapunzel was now a beautiful young girl. As she had never cut her hair, it was several meters long. Her hair was golden blonde. She had deep green eyes. Whenever the witch went to the tower, she would call out to her. "My dear blonde-haired girl, I'm here. Let your hair down." Rapunzel would throw her long braid down, and the witch would climb up to the tower using her hair. Rapunzel thought that the witch was her mother. As she had never seen anyone else other than the witch until now, Rapunzel thought that she and her mother were the only ones in this world. She had a wonderful voice. She sang all day long until nightfall. Her voice echoed across the forest, and all the birds would fly to the window to listen to her. Birds were her only friends. One day, a prince was wandering around the forest. When he heard Rapunzel singing, he wondered where this marvelous sound was coming from. As he followed the direction of the sound, he approached the tower and realized the voice was coming from there.
I must meet the girl with this amazing voice. I wonder how I can go up this tower.
As he desperately walked round and round the tower, he suddenly saw a witch calling to the top of the tower. He hid behind a tree at once and watched. "My dear blonde-haired girl, I'm here. Let your hair down." Rapunzel let down her braided hair, and the witch climbed up to the tower.
I found how to go up the tower.
Having waited for the witch to leave, the prince now called out to the tower, impersonating the voice of the witch.
My girl, please let down your beautiful blonde hair again. I forgot something up there.
I'm letting it down right away, Mother.
With one swift move, she let down her hair again. The prince climbed up the tower using her hair and met Rapunzel. It was the first time in her life that the beautiful girl was seeing another person.
Ah! Who are you? Why are you here? Where is my mother?
There's no need to be afraid. I'm the prince of this country. Your wonderful voice brought me here. To come up here, I had to impersonate your mother's voice.
Rapunzel, who at first was very frightened, slowly realized that he wasn't a bad person. The prince was already charmed by her beauty. Days and months passed by. The prince was coming to the tower every day. When they spent time together, they didn't realize how fast the time passed. Then, he finally proposed to Rapunzel.
Rapunzel, I want to live with you for the rest of my life. Will you marry me?
Of course I'll marry you.
I must now return to the palace.
I will try and find a solution to get you out of here at once.
Rapunzel was very excited that she would finally see the outside world once she married the prince. She was so bored of living alone in the tower for all those years. He held Rapunzel's hair and headed down the tower. Unfortunately, the witch was there too and saw the prince. She immediately understood what was going on. She raged with anger. As Rapunzel was pulling her hair back up again, the witch held onto it and climbed up. She was so annoyed and furious. "What's going on? Who's that just left? I've been hiding you up here to protect you from evil, but you've been talking to strangers and making friends with them.
He's the prince of this country. He asked for my hand in marriage, and I accepted. I'm so happy, Mother. I was waiting for you to come and tell you all about it.
What? What nonsense is this? I'll show you. The witch was so angry that with a pair of scissors she cut Rapunzel's long hair short as can be. And with her magic, she then sent her to a very faraway country. When the prince arrived at the tower the next day, he had no idea that the witch was waiting for him in the tower.
Hi, Rapunzel. I'm here. Let down your hair, please.
The witch let down the long braid that she had cut from Rapunzel's hair. When the prince reached the window of the tower, the witch was there to meet him. He was terrified the moment he saw her.
What a surprise, huh? You thought you were going to be able to take my girl away who I've hidden for years?
As the witch let go of the braid, the terrified prince found himself on the floor. He fell on top of the bushes, but since he hit his head, he was blinded. Rapunzel was ever present in the prince's mind. So mounted on his horse, he searched for her everywhere. He swore that even if he had to go to the end of the world, he would find her. He searched and searched and searched for a very long time. Finally, one day, he heard a song. The voice was familiar to him.
This is Rapunzel's voice. I've finally found her.
Galloping on his horse, he headed straight towards the sweet voice. He came to the door of the house Rapunzel was staying in.
Rapunzel, I'm here. Open the door.
I can't believe it. Is it really you?
As Rapunzel opened the door, she cried when she saw the prince. She cried so much that her tears fell on the prince's face as he was kneeling. Her tears were miraculous, joyful tears. Suddenly, the blind prince opened his eyes. They hugged each other joyfully and celebrated this miracle. The prince was finally able to propose officially. They returned to the palace and started preparing for the wedding. Upon their return, Rapunzel and the prince looked for her real parents so they could share their news. They were incredibly happy to be reunited with their daughter after all these years. They had a beautiful wedding and they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a very cold country, there lived two little children who were neighbours. They were very good friends. The girl's name was Gerda and the boy was called Kai. They played together all the time. Every night, Gerda's grandmother would gather them in front of the fireplace and tell them stories. That night, Grandma was telling them the story about the Snow Queen.
Kids, the Snow Queen was a very beautiful girl with deep green eyes. But she was also just as evil. She would use sleighs to trick the children, capture them, and then turn them into ice sculptures. Like her hair, her heart was also made of ice.
Grandma, that's so scary. What if she comes to our house? We need to protect ourselves from her.
Kids, this is actually a true story. Please don't ever get on the sleighs of strangers. If you do, bad things may happen to you.
The next day, Kai and Gerda went out for some sled racing across the snow-covered countryside. Kai was still in the effect of Grandma's story.
Gerda, when I went to bed last night, I thought of something. I wonder if the Snow Queen can be melted. If we can get her near the fireplace, maybe we can melt her. This way the spell she casted on all those frozen children will be broken and they'll be set free.
Kai, please lower your voice. Maybe she can hear us and will get very angry. We must be careful.
I will melt the Snow Queen.
In fact, the Snow Queen could hear even a whisper from anywhere in the country. After hearing Kai laughing and making fun of her, the Snow Queen decided that she would bring Kai to her palace and turn him into an ice sculpture forever. She immediately sent a beautiful reindeer-drawn sleigh to where the children were.
Oh my God, what a beautiful sleigh this is! Do you think we should hop on and try it, Gerda? According to the story, the Snow Queen also has a sleigh, but this can't be it. Look how beautiful this is! It's covered in silver and so shiny!
No, Kai, don't get on. Remember what Grandma said? She warned us not to get on any stranger's sleigh.
It's so beautiful. I'll ride it just for a little and then get off right away.
As soon as Kai got on the sleigh, the reindeers took off right up in the air. Within seconds, they were out of sight. The Snow Queen was having him taken to her castle. Kai was very scared and regretful for not listening to Gerda. But it was too late. Months passed and they didn't hear from Kai at all. Gerda was very sad and was crying all the time. She kept waiting for her dear friend. Her best friend was lost, but she was certain that the Snow Queen had captured him. Seasons passed, the snow melted, and summer arrived. Gerda was worried sick, so she finally went to talk to her grandmother.
Grandma, I'm going off to search for Kai. I'm so worried about him and I've missed him so much. Please, let me go.
On one condition, Gerda. I trust you a lot, and you're a brave girl. But I have a magic mirror, and I want you to take it with you.
What good is this mirror to me, Grandma?
When you come face to face with the Snow Queen, make her look into this mirror. Only then you will see its use.
Gerda placed the mirror in her bag and left. While going through the forest, she came across a small cottage. She knocked on the door because she was tired and wanted to rest a little. A sweet old lady opened the door. Actually, she was a sorcerer who always did good spells.
Come in, pretty girl. We were waiting for you. I know why you're here, and I'm going to help you. You're searching for your best friend Kai. My cat Cotton will tell you where he is.
Really? Thank you so much.
Gerda immediately went next to Cotton, who was lying on a pillow by the fireplace.
Dear Cotton, how can I find my friend Kai?
Meow. There's a little girl in the cottage at the end of the forest. She told me to send you there as soon as you arrived. She knows where your friend is. Meow.
Gerda thanked them and left. She walked and walked, and when she reached the cottage at the end of the forest, night had already fallen. A little girl met her before she came and knocked on the door.
Welcome, Gerda. I was expecting you. Please sit by the fire and have something to eat.
I'm really tired and hungry. Thank you so much.
After you eat, get some rest. Tomorrow I will send you to the Snow Queen's palace. Don't worry.
In the morning, they went to the barn in the back, where there were 2 beautiful reindeers. The little girl could talk to the reindeers. She whispered to their ears to take Gerda to the Snow Queen's palace. Right away, they prepared a beautiful sleigh.
I don't know how to thank you for helping me.
Have a nice trip. Don't be scared. My reindeers will take you to the palace, and you will find your friend Kai. Take these with you.
Gerda set off on the road with the reindeers pulling on the sleigh. They travelled for several days. Everywhere was covered with white snow. Thankfully, the little girl had given Gerda a thick coat, a hat, and a warm blanket.
I'm covered with a warm blanket while traveling on a sleigh. I'd be so happy if I could do this with Kai. Hopefully we can do it on our way back.
After journeying for days, they finally arrived in front of a shimmering white castle. Gerda realized that they had arrived at the Snow Queen's castle.
My dear reindeers, wait for me here. I'm going to go get my friend and come right back.
She went right into the castle. Everything was made of ice and was covered with icicles. She wandered around the entire castle, but there was absolutely no one around.
Kai! Kai! Where are you? Kai! I can't find you.
Her voice was echoing in the empty castle when she finally opened the door of a room on the top floor. Suddenly, she saw Kai. He was standing like a statue in the middle of the room.
Kai! Kai! Wake up! Talk to me! I've missed you so much, my dear friend. I've finally found you.
She was crying and rubbing all over and trying to melt the ice. She cried and cried so much that her tears started melting the ice around Kai. Suddenly, Kai came alive and started talking.
Gerda, I know you would come for me. I also missed you, and I'm so happy to see you.
We'll talk about everything later, Kai. Let's get out of here right away.
Right then, the Snow Queen returned to the castle and walked into the room where they were standing. She was terrifying. Gerda was seeing her for the first time. With her long white hair and deep green eyes, the Snow Queen was a beautiful woman. The Snow Queen started to shout with anger.
How dare you, entering my castle without permission and melting my sculpture? Now it's your turn. You asked for it. You will also be one of my sculptures. Ha 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 ha.
Gerda was terrified, but she knew that she had to stand up against the Snow Queen. Suddenly, she remembered the mirror that her grandmother had given her.
I've never seen anyone quite as beautiful as you. But unfortunately, your heart is not as beautiful. I feel sorry for you. You can turn me into an ice sculpture if you wish, but my grandmother sent you a mirror. Can you look at it once?
Give me that mirror. Why did she send this to me?
The Snow Queen took the mirror in her hands and was shocked because the reflection in the mirror was of her as a child. She was a pretty little girl with long blonde hair and deep green eyes.
Oh my God, what's happening?
At that moment, a cloud of dust surrounded the Queen. Getting smaller and smaller, she turned into a small, beautiful girl. A miracle had taken place. The mirror was in fact magical. Those who looked into it would see their true selves. It seemed that the Snow Queen had been very sad as a child because no one had played with her. One day, a sorcerer said to the Snow Queen, "You have to punish them," and asked if she wanted to seek revenge on those who didn't play with her. Filled with sadness as a child, she had made the wrong decision and had said yes. The sorceress turned her into the Snow Queen and filled her heart with evil. Since the mirror had broken the terrible curse, everyone was now filled with joy. Thank you so much. I'm saved now. My heart is filled with kindness once again. Kai and Gerda went to the reindeers that awaited them, journeyed back the way they had come, and returned to their old happy days. And of course, to their grandmother's stories. Once upon a time, there was a country where everyone was very happy. All the young girls of the country admired the King and Queen's handsome son. The young prince was tall, had green eyes and black hair, and was also kind-hearted. The King and Queen had raised him very well. The prince had become a young man who was a skilled rider and a swordsman. He was an avid reader and an excellent piano player. But since he was a perfectionist, he couldn't love or marry anyone.
Mother, the girl I marry needs to be a real princess. She needs to be sensitive, polite, and have proper manners. She must be beautiful inside and out. She has to have a melodious voice, so she can accompany me while I play the piano.
Indeed. She must also be someone who thinks of the interests of her country, who helps everyone and acts fairly.
You're right, Mother. She should also love animals and protect them, too.
Since there was no princess with these characteristics in their country, the young prince decided to seek his princess in other countries. The princess he met in the first country he visited was a very beautiful girl. But one day, as they strolled in the garden, they saw a little puppy sitting under the tree. The princess suddenly started screaming.
Ah! Take this dirty animal and throw it out! I don't want to see it in my garden!
Her voice was so harsh and scary that the guards rushed and followed her orders.
No, this behavior is unacceptable. I cannot marry someone this cruel.
He politely bid her farewell and headed to another country. After a long journey, he wanted to rest in the guest house of the palace before meeting the princess. Suddenly, a horrible voice woke him up, but he couldn't tell where it was coming from.
Hey, servants! I'm telling you, where is my cake? You need to be quicker. Bring my cake now!
My goodness, where's that sound coming from?
He followed the sound and peeked from behind the door of the room. A princess, sitting at the head of the dining table that was filled with sweets and desserts, was yelling at the servants around her while she ate voraciously.
What did I tell you? Why aren't you bringing the cake that I wanted? The one I ate is not good. Quick, bring me a new one and then get out.
When the prince saw this scene, he left the palace before meeting the princess. He thought that he could never marry someone who mistreats those who serve them. He headed to the third country to try his luck for the last time. When he met the third princess, he really liked her.
She's very beautiful, but I shouldn't decide right away. I need to get to know her better.
Just as he had thought, after some time passed and he got to know her, he realized that this princess was also not the girl he was looking for. She would always brag about herself and talk incessantly.
My father is a very powerful king. Even if they gave me the whole world, I wouldn't want more. I'm also a very beautiful princess. I want to sit in my throne and have everyone around me to be my slave.
The prince got very upset when he heard these words.
This beautiful girl can't be my princess either. The girl I marry shouldn't be so arrogant. She should be humble and not materialistic.
In sadness, he returned to his country. His mother saw how unhappy her son was and tried to comfort him.
Don't be upset, my son. One day you're going to find the girl of your dreams.
One night, in a terrible stormy weather, someone knocked on the palace's door. The butler who opened the door was very surprised to see such a beautiful girl in this storm.
Hello, I'm the princess of the neighboring country and this is my servant. The wheel of our carriage broke. Can we be your guests and can we keep our horses safe until our carriage is repaired?
They immediately reported to the king. Of course, the king agreed to have them as his guests, given such severe weather conditions. The princess was soaked and was shivering. But even so, the queen liked the princess.
Please sit by the fireplace. I'll get you some dry clothes. You should eat something and rest a little. I'm sure everything will be better when you wake up.
The princess changed her clothes and went downstairs to have something to eat. The prince heard what had happened and wanted to meet the guests.
It is unfortunate that you had to endure such circumstances. Please make yourself comfortable. You can stay here as long as you please.
Thank you very much, dear Prince. I do have a request. My horses should be well taken care of. They've been miserable in this weather. Oh, and my servant should sleep well. Poor thing. He tried so hard to fix the carriage. I wouldn't want him to get sick.
Don't worry. Your request shall be granted. You should rest now.
The prince, who really liked the princess, whispered in his mother's ear.
Mother, could she be the princess we have been waiting for? I wonder if the things she has told us are true. She is as kind as she is beautiful.
Perhaps, my son, but let's see if she's a real princess. We'll see tonight.
The queen quickly devised a plan, and she had 7 mattresses put on top of each other where the princess was to sleep in. And they put a pea on the bottom of the mattresses.
Yes, your room is ready, princess. You can rest now.
Thank you very much, Your Highness. Good night.
In the morning, while having breakfast, the queen started a conversation with the princess.
Good morning, princess. Did you sleep well?
Although the bed seemed comfortable, it felt as if I had a huge rock under my back. Unfortunately, I couldn't sleep at all.
Upon hearing this, the queen signaled to the prince in approval without the princess noticing. After breakfast, the prince and princess went for a stroll in the garden. The princess told him about her country and her family. She had wonderful plans for her country. While strolling the garden, they saw a kitten. The princess affectionately picked it up and put it in a safe place.
Isn't this such a beautiful creature, my prince?
When they entered the palace, the prince started playing the piano. The princess accompanied him.
La 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 la.
Her voice was so melodious that everyone in the palace listened with admiration. The prince, who had liked the princess from the moment he saw her, thought that he had found the princess of his dreams. After a couple of days, it was time for the princess to return to her country.
My prince, thank you for everything. You've been a great host to me, my servant, and my horses as well. But I must go back to my country.
The young prince didn't want her to leave. He was sure that she was the girl he had been looking for, and so he shared with the queen and king that he was thinking of marrying her.
Mother, father, I'm sure you are thinking the same. This girl is a real princess. She doesn't give orders and asks politely from her servants, and also thanks them. She loves all creatures. She's polite, good-hearted, and smart. I'm sure she's the one.
Okay, son, whenever you like, we will go to her country and ask her father, the king, for his permission for marriage.
The prince, who got an approval from the king and queen, asked the princess for her hand in marriage. Actually, the princess also liked the prince the moment she met him. Her love grew as they spent time together. So, when the prince proposed and gave her a ring, the princess happily accepted. The celebration lasted for 40 days and 40 nights, and after that day, the prince and the princess lived happily ever after.
Kondo-san?
One day, the little pigs felt bored because there was very little work to do in the forest. Suddenly, Minky had a brilliant idea.
Honky, Punky, why don't we start our own business?
I don't know. We will need gold, I guess.
Let's put together the gold we have. If that's not enough, we can ask Mom.
The three brothers put their gold together.
This may not be enough to start a business.
So, what are we going to do? Minky, you make delicious cakes. What if we open a pastry shop or a coffee shop?
No, I've got it. We'll open a sushi restaurant. There isn't any in town. Mommy, since we're grown up now, we want to work.
We want to open our own shop. At first, we thought of a pastry shop. Then we thought a coffee shop would be better.
We finally decided to open a sushi restaurant. However, we don't have enough gold. Will you help us?
That's a great idea. I would be happy to help. Let's check how much gold I have.
They all started counting the gold coins that their mother had saved in a jar in the kitchen.
249, 250. All are yours. I guess this will be enough.
The three little pigs got to work at once. They started looking for a suitable shop where they could open the restaurant. Finally, they found a small shop by the lake and started renovations. Honky hung the paintings. Ponky set the tables. Minky made the sushi dishes. When he heard the news, the wicked wolf went to the restaurant right away. He observed the piglets and got very jealous.
This was actually my idea. I wanted to open a restaurant. You can't steal my idea.
He entered the restaurant and walked towards Honky, who was painting the walls.
Look here. Watch out. I will pour your paint.
Poor Honky. All the paint spilled on the floor. Then the wicked wolf walked towards Ponky, who was setting the tables.
And now watch. Check this out. I'll knock over your tables.
Minky was worried and wondered what he would do next.
I must think quickly. What should I do? What should I do? I got it!
He hid behind the counter. When the wolf approached the kitchen counter, ready to huff and puff,
Welcome, Wolf. You can huff and puff, but first, allow me to offer you some delicious sushi. Then you can start whatever you want.
The wolf was astonished. Just as he was about to decline, the wonderful aroma coming from the kitchen hit his nose, making him hungry.
Well, since you insist, I'll eat a little bit.
Okay, I'm preparing your plate right now.
Minky put the sushi on a plate and smeared it with wasabi, the hottest spice. He handed the plate to the wolf.
Enjoy your meal!
The bad wolf licked the chopsticks and threw a piece in his mouth. The sushi was so hot that flames came out of his mouth. ran to the lake to drink water as he screamed in pain.
Come on, guys, don't be afraid. Bad Wolf won't be coming here anytime soon. Let's continue. Honky, open a new can of paint. Bonky, tidy up the tables.
The three brothers got to work again as they were expecting their first guests in the evening. Finally, they hung the sign outside that said, 3 Piggies Sushi.
Bonky, turn on the lights. Honky, run to the door.
Welcome, madam.
Thank you. You are gorgeous. Everything looks perfect.
When their first guests arrived, the pig's mother and their friends all sat together at the table. Minky served them.
Did you enjoy your meal?
Yes, it was great. It was delicious, Minky. The color palette and ambience are remarkable. Well done, Honky. And the table setting is very nice too. Well done, Ponky. Kids, I want to tell you something.
What is it, Mom?
I won't be cooking at home. From now on, we'll eat here every evening.
Honky, Ponky and Minky felt restless and bored after being cooped up at home.
Guys, I can't even raise my arm.
Look at my belly. Pretty soon I'll need someone to help me get up.
Hey, why not play some sports? We'll have a reason to get out of the house.
That's a great idea, Minky.
Yes, that's a cool idea. Let's talk to Mom.
Mommy, we want to start exercising. Can we go to jogging in the forest tomorrow?
The pigs were delighted. They woke up early in the morning, put on workout clothes and set out.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Piggies are here. Where is the wicked wolf? Piggies are here. Where is the wicked wolf?
Phew! I'm so tired. Let's take a break.
I'm so hungry. Can we eat the sandwiches Mom made for us, Minky?
Hey, it's only been 15 minutes since we set out, and we can still see the house. Guys, come on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
They continued on their way, running non-stop.
Hey, this doesn't look familiar. These trees were not close to our house.
These are ivy.
Look, there's a hidden house there. Let's check it out.
This is not a house, it's a library. Look, the sign is visible through the leaves.
It looks abandoned.
Nobody goes to the library anymore. We have smartphones and computers.
Let's take a look inside.
Is there anybody here?
It's so dusty.
Who's there?
Who are you?
An old friend. The wicked wolf.
Why did you lock us up? Open the door.
Why?
What do you want from us?
You're full of dust, but I'll clean you up later so that I can eat you. But first, I must do something else. Wait for me, little piggies. You can't escape anyway, right? See you later.
What are we going to do? The wicked wolf has cornered us.
Must find a solution, Minky. Come on, think. Ugh, my phone battery is low, and I don't have my charger.
This is a very old lock. I saw one like that in a book. Since every lock in the world is made to open, there must be a way.
But how?
There must be a way.
How do we find that book? The wolf can come in any minute.
Let's spread. Honky, you look at that library. Bunky, you there. And I'll check the back. Hurry up!
Not that. Oh, not that either.
World history. Not that. Around the world in 80 days. Not that either.
I got it. Secret of Flags. Here's the book we need.
The three brothers turned page after page. It was starting to get dark outside. Suddenly, they heard the wolf approach.
Here, this is the lock.
Yes, we did it! No one can imprison us.
Wait, I have a plan. I need a fishing line.
I must have one in my backpack. I still have Mom's sandwiches in here.
Don't eat them. We'll need them. Let's put the sandwiches there, Honky. Punky, hold the end of the fishing line. Let's tie it up.
The three brothers held one end of the fishing line, hid behind a tree, and waited for the wolf.
Piggies! I'm coming! Why is this door open? Where did these sandwiches come from?
Hold the fishing line!
Hey, what's going on here?
Now we locked you, bad wolf.
Don't worry, we saved you a sandwich because we're not wicked like you.
Get me out of here! I promise I won't hurt you. I can't even walk you back home. It's already dark.
No, thanks. Look, there's a book about lags. You can read it and let yourself out.
No, don't go! Don't leave me all here alone! I don't know how to read.
The three little pigs went home, happy to know they beat the wicked wolf once again.